What's up guys, Maelstrom here. If you enjoyed then like and subscribe and leave a comment for the next part so I can keep on making these awesome videos for you guys. You abandoned your partners? Asked Arashi. First, they are not my partners. Responded Shamalian. Second, you already fell into my genjutsu. Prepare to revive your worst memories. What the new? Cried Arashi. The last thing he saw before entering the nightmare were the Sharingan eyes that the ANU had behind his mask. Minato was now reviving the most traumatic things that happened to him. First memory. Arashi Namikaze stuck the katana into his heart, to the horror of his 9-year-old son, Minato. And Namikaze-sama. Why? Asked Minato, trying to contain the tears. Arashi Namikaze smiled at his son. A drop of blood fell from his mouth. I made this to break the evil traditions that cursed our family. And now you are the only heir of our clan. Why you didn't gain the place killing me? The traditions are now destroyed. The clan is now destroyed. And now you can create new rules to your new clan. Rules that will help your family instead of destroying it. Like will happen to the Hyugas. Daddy. Please don't leave me. Cried Minato, not containing the tears anymore. Why you called me dad? Said Arashi. I love how it sounds. Please be a better father than me. I love you, my son. Daddy? Dad. Cried Minato. The kid was the next hours crying, hugging his father's corpse. Second memory. The Kiwabi was fighting the defenders of Konoha. Those ninjas were trying to buy time to their leader. Minato followed the trace of blood, praying that his suspicions were wrong, but the place where they were leading only confirmed what he feared. The baby Naruto started to cry, feeling his father's worry. Minato kissed his forehead, calming him down. Minato arrived to the flower prairie where he confessed Kushina his love, where she hugged him in tears, saying that she also loved him. In the end of the trace of blood was her, with her back leaned against that tree where wrote their names. She had a horrible bleeding wound in the abdomen. Kushina! Cried Minato, rushing to his love. She didn't respond. Kushina, wake up. Please, tell me something. Said Minato, touching her face. She opened her eyes slowly. Minato, it's you. Said her, trying to keep awake. Don't talk, my love. I'll bring you to the hospital. You will heal. Said Minato in despair. And no. It's too late for me, Emin-kun. Responded her in pain. No. Responded him, trying to deny what both of them knew. The medics will do something. Why you know that it's too late, my love. Whispered her. Minato knew it was a miracle that she was still alive. She would be dead before he took her to hospital, and the stress of the Hiraishin would kill her if he tried to teleport to other place. His love was going to die. Why? Kushina, why did you join the ninja army against the monster after giving birth a few days ago? You knew that Naruto was going to lose his father and become the jailer of the fox. Said Minato, trying to contain his tears. I thought that perhaps if more ninjas fought the fox we could defeat him. Said Kushina between tears of pain and guilt. That perhaps wouldn't lose you and our baby wouldn't be condemned to have a monster inside him. And now our Naruto will be alone. Don't worry Kushi-chan, he will be treated as a hero. He will have a family that will make him happy, said Atiri. Minato, not knowing what fate had reserved to their child. Naruto, feeling the sadness of his parents, started to cry. Let me hold him for a last time. Said Kushina, holding out her arms to Naruto with great effort. Minato nodded and gave the baby to Kushina. She hugged him tenderly. He calmed down. Minato-kun. Said her, looking at her husband with tears. I love you. I always love you. Since the day we met. I also love you, my Kushi-chan, since I discovered that my best friend was the most wonderful girl of the world. Responded him. Kushina started to sing a lullaby to Naruto. Minato was speechless. He never heard her sing. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever heard. Their baby fell asleep. Then the lullaby stopped. Kushina didn't move. Kushina? Asked Minato, tell me something. He looked at her eyes. Kushi-chan? Her beautiful blue eyes had lost that spark of life that characterized her forever. For a few seconds he was immobilized. Then he got up and roared a cry that only the deepest desperation could create. In another place the Kiwabi heard that cry, and his curiosity made him head to the source of such desperation. Forgetting the ninjas, they were horrified by the cry. On the next days they described it as if someone had his soul ripped. Baby Naruto started to cry again. Minato took off Naruto from his mother's hands, Then he closed her eyes, laid her down over the flowers, letting her long red hair spread it. He kissed her on the lips for last time. Gee, goodbye forever, and my love. I wish I could go to the same place as you, whispered Minato. Then he took the crying Naruto, who was extending his tiny arms, trying to reach her mom. Minato felt the monster coming. He took Naruto and quickly left the prairie. They won't defile Kushina's resting place with their fight. Come on, son. Let's go avenge your mother, whispered to Naruto before summoning Gamabata. In the stadium, Arashi roared the most terrifying cry that the younger generations have ever heard. The older ones, especially those who fought the fox, recognized the sound that accompanied many of their nightmares about that night. He was the one who made the fox leave the battlefield, thought Asuma. He probably doesn't know it, but he saved a lot of lives that night. What is that guy doing to my dad? Asked Naruto, angry, ready to jump to the arena. Hayashi felt the killer intent of the boy and Koi, ready to knock him down in the event of the seal weakening. However, it was Shino who solved the situation. Naruto, calm down. Your father is trapped in a genjutsu. I bet he will escape it. If not, then remember that his adversary can kill him. If you intervene, he will be disqualified, said the boy, putting his hand in Naruto's shoulder. Naruto nodded with a grunt and sit down. Chameleon charged at Arashi with his sword, ready to cut his head. Hiraishin noticed too late the true purposes of the Anbu. Minato was paralyzed, not noticing the incoming attack. A voice cried in Arashi's head, Minato, move out. Arashi regained his senses and blocked the attack in the last second with one of his tree-pronged kane. Hiraishin felt relieved and wondered how Arashi managed to regain his kane. Then Arashi kicked Chameleon in the gut, sending him backwards. He created a cage Bunshin before him. Said Bunshin made a set of hand signs. Funjutsu, sealed eyes, shouted the Bunshin, slamming his fingers around Arashi's eyes. That is one of the Yondaime's techniques, thought Hayashi. It turns the receiver blind. Chameleon got up. It's a risky idea, Arashi-kun. Blinding yourself for avoid my eyes, said the false Anbu. I don't need to see you to kick your sorry ass, said Arashi, pointing with the kunai at his adversary. He would have looked really cool if he weren't pointing to his shirt-dropping height. Chameleon made the hand signs for a jutsu and suddenly Arashi threw a pair of kane with tags at him. He stopped the signs in order, dodged the kane when the tags worked. Release, shouted Arashi, making a hand sign. The storage seals of the tags released a greasy liquid, soaking Chameleon. He altered the Funjutsu for not turn completely blind, but enough for not being affected by eye-based genjutsus, said Sarutobi to one of the judges. This is oil, said Chameleon. Correct, said Arashi with a smirk under his mask. So, no katenjutsus allowed. Cage Bunshin no jutsu. The army of clones charged at Chameleon. Unfortunately, they had a limited sight while their opponent had the power of the Sharingan, so he didn't have much trouble dispatching them. Gotcha, shouted Arashi when the Anbu made it in a particular clone. Instead of disappearing in a poof of smoke, the clone exploded in flames, igniting the oil over the Anbu. Arghh, cried Chameleon, rolling on the ground, trying to vanish the flames while taking off the clothes. Arashi's adversary finally managed to extinct the flames. However, he had first and second degree burns over his body, but he was able to save his face from the fire. What do you think of the Katen Bunshin? Mocked Arashi. It's an Uchiha secret jutsu, created by your father. Itachi-san, you'll die for this, Uzumaki, shouted Itachi while his Sharingan took a shuriken-like appearance. I still didn't finish to pay you for what I had to relive with your genjutsu. Now you'll see my true power, shouted Arashi, taking his hand to the mask for remove it. Before they could do anything, a squad of Anbu, many Jonins and the Hokage in his battle gear, were in the arena. Itachi Uchiha, said the Hokage, you are under arrest. Surrender without resistance or you'll be eliminated. Minato, I don't know what he did to you, but you almost blow your cover, thought Itachi, shouted Sasuke, trying to jump into the arena. However, he was stopped by Shino, who was able to cover him with his bugs. They drained his chakra, leaving him unconscious. What are you done to him? Asked Naruto, still suppressed by the turn that the combat took. I drained his chakra to knock him down. He would have been killed if he joined the incoming battle, responded the Abraham. Perhaps I should let you go, traitor meat, thought looking at Sasuke. Before anybody could do anything, the arena was deluged by water. Everybody in the arena stuck into the walls, saving Arashi's former adversaries. Arashi floated over the water, trying to find Itachi and probably Kisame, but he still had his sight weakened. Then water-made sharks spouted from the water, heading to the crowd. "Protect the people," ordered Sarutobi. The higher-ranking ninjas fought the sharks while the rest took the civilians out of the stadium. Minutes later, when the sharks were defeated and everybody was safe, the Hokage headed to an ANBU. "Any signs of Itachi and his accomplice?" asked. "I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, they have escaped," responded the ANBU concerned. "Form a team to look after them," ordered Sarutobi, although he knew that they won't success. Then he headed to Arashi, who was unsealing his eyes while his son was congratulating him. "You are amazing, Tauzen. I didn't know you could do such amazing things. For a moment I thought you were going to lose to the roasted guy. What did you saw?" asked Naruto. "Some painful memories from the past, my kid," responded Minato sadly, caressing Naruto's hair. "But now that I'm with you everything will go fine." "I'm glad to hear this," said the Hokage. "You should go to rest. By the way, congratulations! After your performance all judges agree to give you the Jonin rank. You also have been classified as AS Class Nin." Minato nodded, not listening at the Hokage's words. He was thinking about the voice that helped him to escape. He would have swear that it sounded like hers. "Next week you'll see the aftermatch of Minato's test. Some of your questions has been responded but new ones appeared." "See ya." Hayashi ordered Neji to escort his cousin back to the compound. The poor girl was disappointed for losing the chance of being hugged again by Naruto. He went to the hospital and asked for Bear's room. The annoyed receptionist told him to follow the track of giggles while mumbling something about all elite shinobis being perverts. The Hyuga's puzzlement disappeared when he finally got into the room where Bear and the other ANBU were. They were being attended by very beautiful women, dressed by very tantalizing nurse outfits. They were caressing the ANBU while praising their skills. All ANBU minus Bear were enjoying the special treatment by the ladies. "What sort of nurses you are?" asked Undignified. "The sort of nurses that Uzumaki sent as apologizing gift for beating us," responded Crow, trying to look undignified with no success. "Is there a place where we can talk in private, my lord?" "I must tell you something," asked Bear. "Yes, there's an empty room in the corridor, we can talk there," responded Hayashi. They got into the room. Then Hayashi dispelled the hand he was using all day, turning into a different Hyuga, while Bear removed his mask, revealing the true Hayashi Hyuga. "How are you, my lord? Are you hurt?" asked the Hyuga. "Only in my pride, Hono," responded Hayashi. "That Uzumaki didn't lie when he told that he knew my brother. He knew how to fight against Juken. Tell me, what happened after he knocked me?" Hono told him about how Shamalian turned to be Itachi and how Arashi fought him, including the seal he used in his own eyes for avoid the terrible effects of Itachi's Sharingan. He also knows that technique of the Yondaime, not only the Rasengan. He also has a secret technique of the Uchihas, the technique he named like my brother, and his own techniques. Even more, he has a boot limit that let him fight against 8 Jonins after using the gates," said Hayashi thoughtful. "What are you thinking, Hayashi-sama?" asked Hono, intrigued. "Hono, call all Hyuga elders to a meeting, both branches. We must decide what to do about the matter of the Uzumakis." "What do you mean, my lord?" asked Hono. "Since the disappearance of the Uchihas, we Hyugas became the most powerful clan in Konoha, but now, with the new Uzumaki clan, its status is in danger. Tell all our spies and agents to gather all info about Arashi, his son and his wife, whoever she was," ordered Hayashi. "Yes, sire," said Hono, taking back Hayashi's appearance before leaving. With Minato and Naruto, they were walking back to their apartment. Minato noticed that people was not glaring at Naruto or him, even some villagers greeted them when they passed. "Obviously the matches of the arena and our new status as a clan with exclusive powers and jutsus improved the village's opinion about us," thought Minato. "I can wait to see their faces the day I reveal my face." Unknown to the X-Cage, the main reason because the villagers were not mean as before was the way Minato was treating his son, just like another kid, not a demon's vessel. The fact that Naruto had a human relative killed most of the rumors about him being the Kyuubi in human form. Another reason were the rumors about what Arashi Uzumaki does to anybody who treats his son badly. Nobody wanted to know what he does with the spoon and mouse. Naruto was too busy talking with his father to notice that. "Tauzen, what did the old man mean when he said that you were S-class?" asked. "Among ninja, the class is the true way to determine a ninja's true power, not the rank," responded Minato. "Do you say that what really matters is the class?" asked Naruto, puzzled. Minato nodded. Yes, the rank only determines who will take the leadership in missions and what sort of responsibilities the ninjas will take. Usually the lower the rank of the ninja, the lower the class, but it's not always like this, so you shouldn't underestimate your opponents for having a low class. Does it happen the opposite, Dad? Ninjas with high ranks that are weak? Asked Naruto. Yes, it happens. For example, in minor villages the leaders probably are not as strong as a medium Konoha Jonin, or even a Chunin ready to take the Jonin exam. Each village has its own requisites for determine the rank. The 5 great villages, Iwa, Kuri, Kumo, Suna and Konoha, have the highest requisite, so most ninjas with rank above Genin from these places will have a high class. Can you give me some examples, Dad? Asked his son. A good example of somebody with high class and low rank was your future self. He was the last one to get the Chunin rank of his graduation class. It was because that training trip that took 2.5 years. However, he was the most powerful of them all. He became the only Konoha ninja able to create and use a SS class before turning 16. Said Minato proudly. Then I will be the first one to become Chunin, and I will create that SS class jutsu before 15. Interrupted a jealous Naruto. I have no doubt you will achieve it, Naruto, said Minato, ruffling his hair. Many missing nin are examples of ninjas with high class but low rank. In fact, they don't have rank at all. Examples of ninjas with low class and high rank are most academy teachers. Their rank was given because their responsibilities, not their power. As final example, I can mention the Lord of the Fire Country. His rank is above the Hokage, but a genin fresh from the academy would dispatch him with no trouble. Naruto was surprised to know that the Hokage had to respond to someone weaker than him. Thinking about that, they arrived at their home. There were some men putting everything into boxes. Hey look, Dad, someone is in our apartment stealing our things, shouted Naruto, furious, preparing for a fight. Don't worry, Naruto, they are some of my demi-clones. They are going to help us in our move to our family house, said Minato. Oh, our family house? Asked Naruto. Yes, I bought it after I became Hokage. I'll tell you more as soon as we arrive there. Naruto packed his most valuable things in a backpack, while his father and the demi-clones finished with the boxes. As soon as they finished, they left the place. It was almost night. Naruto looked at the place he stayed all his life for a last time with a mix of sadness and happiness. They went to the most rich part of the village with the people there looked at them in disbelief. They ignored them. They stopped at a 3-story mansion. This is our house? Asked Naruto, excited. Yes, this is our new home, take this, said Minato, handing him some keys. Naruto got into the house and started to explore it while the demi-clones took the duty to unpack the boxes and then dispelled themselves. Minato removed his mask and got into his room, not knowing how much he was going to regret it. He opened the closet to hang his cloak and he saw her clothes. Shocked, he sat down on the bed. Another error, I'd keeps her scent. Thought I could sleep here. Not without her. He looked at the clothes in the closet sadly, not noticing that Naruto got into the room. Why, you are really miss her, don't you, Daddy? Said Naruto sadly, hugging his father from behind. Why, yes, responded Minato. I'll sleep in one of the guest rooms. Do you like our house? Said, cheering up a little. Yes, it's wonderful. Probably it took a lot of time to you to decorate it, don't you? Asked Naruto. No. She took all the decoration work by herself. She said that because I paid for the house, she was the one who had to turn it into a home. She even forbid me to enter the rooms she didn't finish to decorate. Have you seen all rooms? No, I didn't finish. I'll keep on with it, said the boy. Naruto left the room happily. Minutes later, Minato realized that his son was not making any noise and looked after him worried. He found him speechless in the door of a room. That room was different from the others. It was decorated with infantile motifs like bunnies, baby sheeps and many cute animals. In one of the walls there was a bookcase with illustrated tales for children near a closet full of baby clothes that never would be used by the one they were intended. In other wall there was a coffin full of baby toys. Most of them were still in their original boxes. In the center of the room there was a table with a basket full of colored wool balls and 2 knitting needles. There was also an unfinished baby-sized sweater. In the side of the table there was a rocking chair with an open book. It looked the last person who read it had to left the room quickly. The book was titled Maternity for Konoikas. In the last wall, below the window, There was a crib. Inside the crib there was a stuffed frog, still waiting for his destined owner. The toy and all things in the room were covered in dust. Finally, hanged in a star-decorated ceiling there was a hanged sign. It had a chibi Minato and a chibi Kushina with open arms. The sign said, "Welcome home, Naruto-kun." This is one of the rooms she forbid me to enter until it was finished," whispered Minato. She really wanted to have me," babbled Naruto while a single tear crossed his face. Minato quickly hugged him. "Daddy, how can I miss someone I never met?" asked Naruto sadly. I don't know. I think it's a sign of how strong are the bonds between parents and children," said Minato. 2000. "There are 2 beds in the guest's room, aren't they?" Minato nodded. Later that night, Naruto got up from the bed and got into the nursery room. Then he took the stuffed frog, went back to the room he shared with his father and got again into bed. "Thank you for your present, Mom, I love it," whispered, hugging it with a smile. Meanwhile, in the Hyuga compound, Hyuga Hayashi and the clan elders were finishing their meeting. The Hyuga spies and agents brought all they discovered about the Uzumaki, including copies of medical reports of both of them and Arashi's missions. The only interference was when one of the agents rushed in the hall telling that the Uzumaki were their new neighbors. Hayashi was using all his will to not show the face of a defeated man. With a difference of 1 vote it was decided to carry out the plan. Said keeping his coldness, the plan which will make the Uzumaki clan disappear. In a cave, unknown location, Itachi was receiving medical attention from Zetsu. The plant man Whiteside was the only medicman in the Akatsuki. Unfortunately for Itachi, Zetsu's black side was a sadistic bastard, so he forgot to apply an anesthetic. Fortunately for Zetsu, Itachi was too cool for complaint. "Hold on Itachi-san, you are almost done," said his Whiteside. "What a way to waste some good roasted meat," complained his other side. "Umph, I can look after myself now," said Itachi, putting was his clothes. "You know, that burns the Uzumaki inflicted you will leave some ugly scars," said the black side. "Unfortunately I'm not trained to attend them." "Lead, I don't care, when I finish with him he won't have flesh to be scarred," responded Itachi, leaving the room. They got into the chamber of the cave that they used for meetings. The rest of the Akatsuki were there. The leader started to talk. "As you know, it came to our knowledge that a man claiming to be the Kiwabi's vessel father had arrived in Konoha. Unlike most Jinchurika's relatives, he doesn't hate him. In fact, he was giving him a special training. Last day he was having a test for determine his rank. We sent Itachi and Kisame to check his power level, determine if he could be a treat in the future and terminate him if the answer was positive." "He almost cooked Itachi-senpai," bursted out Toby. The other Akatsukis murmured among themselves after this revelation until Pine told them to stop gossiping like old ladies. "Silence. It won't alter our plans. When the time comes we will deal with that man. He won't be able to face my own power." He looked at the Uchiha. "Itachi, I found somebody who will replace Orochimaru. His name is Deidara, a stone nin who works as a terrorist. Convince him to join us." "But Boos, I can be the partner of Sasori-senpai," complained Toby. Obviously he was ignored by the others. Itachi nodded at the leader and left the place with Kisame. The rest of the group came back to their duties. Toby was left alone in the chamber, thinking about what happened in the arena. "So I was not the only one dragged back into the past," thought Madara. "Minato Namikaze, how many times are you going to interfere with my plans? You didn't expect that, eh?" See you next time. When Naruto woke up he found that his father was not in his bed. He must be preparing breakfast, thought. However, Minato was not in the kitchen. After a quick searching through all the house he found him in his original bedroom. His father was looking at the mirror. He was wearing a traditional Konoha Jonin uniform with vest and all. He also had a white jacket with red flames that looked like a cloak. "Dad, you look amazing," exclaimed Naruto, looking at his father with stars in his eyes. "Thank you Naruto, it's the old outfit I used to wear when I was Hokage." "I'm glad you like it," responded Minato with a smile. "You look like the photos in the books. Are you going to use it again?" asked Naruto. "No, at least until I reveal my true identity," responded his father. "When it is going to happen?" "I'm dying to see the villagers' faces when you reveal your true self, Daddy," said Naruto happily. "As soon as you got enough power to defeat most of the enemies we will face after the revelation, my kid," responded Minato with a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "Then I will get stronger as soon as possible, so you will wear your cool jacket again," vowed Naruto. Minato smiled. Then he took off his jacket and put it on Naruto's shoulders. "It will look cooler with you wearing it." "The future Yondaime," said proudly. Naruto blushed and smiled at his father's compliment. He was really happy to have somebody also believing that he was going to be Hokage. Suddenly he was being hugged by his father. He hugged him back. I'm so happy to being with you again, and Naruto. The way why you accepted me back in your life," said almost crying. I'm happy too, Daddy. I never expected to get you back," said Naruto crying. Naruto was unaware that the other reason his father hugged him was because the ex-Kage was afraid that he would never love him again after this day. They had a good breakfast courtesy of the demi-clones and headed to their usual training ground. This time Minato decided that they would go there walking for see how the villagers react to them. He was glad to see that those who dared to glare at them lowered their ranks after yesterday's event. However, he was unaware that those who hated Naruto were going to take a more active behavior in the next weeks. Meanwhile, they did a good work hiding their hate. When they arrived at the training ground, Minato headed to his son. "Okay, Naruto, create 5 clones, dividing your chakra equally among them." Naruto nodded. "Yes, sensei." Kage Bunshin no Jutsu shouted. In a poof of smoke 5 additional Naruto appeared. Minato did the same, creating 5 copies of himself. Minato headed at the first clone. "You will create as many copies of yourself as you can and they will perform the water walking technique while you rest. They will do in the water the exercises one that of my clones will tell them. Past an hour you will dispel them, then dispel yourself." Minato headed to the original Naruto. "When you get this clone's memories you will create another clone to replace him. That clone will do the same cycle again. The purpose of the exercises is to make your water walking ability something that you can do with no effort, improving your chakra control in the process." The clone nodded and went to the lake accompanied by one of Minato's clones. He headed to the second clone. "Like your brother, you will create as many copies of yourself as you can. They will perform the tree walking technique. They also will do the exercises my clone will tell them. You will dispel them and yourself when past an hour too. Naruto, you'll do the same as before when you receive this clone's memories. The purpose of the exercises is the same as the water walking ones. They also will improve your balance." The clone headed to the forest with Minato's clone. He headed to the third and fourth clones. "Each of you will create as many clones as you can, forming 2 teams. One team will attack the other team with throwing weapons while the attack team will dodge everything they can. When the defender team is dispelled, their creator will recreate them again. When the attacker team is out of ammunition, their creator will dispel them and recreated them again. When past an hour you will dispel yourselves like the other clones. The purpose of this is obviously to improve your aim and dodging ability. My clones will supervise the teams and advise them how to perform better." The clones and their instructors headed to their battlefield. He took a seal scroll from his pouch. He unsealed a pile of books and headed to the 5th clone. "You will create as many clones as you can. They won't need much chakra for each of them because they won't do such exhausting duties as the other clones, so you can create hundreds of them. You will take one of the books and divide it among the clones. Each clone will have to memorize the page or pages they will receive. They will dispel themselves when they finish memorizing their pages. The more clones you create, the less work each of them will do. When all clones have are dispelled, dispel yourself. You will dispel yourself only when you finish memorizing the book. Naruto, when you get this clone's memories you will create another one for replace him. My clone will go with you to make sure that each clone will be doing his duty and for help them if they don't understand something." The clone left the place grumbling something about the others doing the funny things, accompanied with a sighing Minato clone. Finally he headed to the last clone. "The clones you will create will fight among themselves with taijutsu. They are forbidden to block, they have to dodge each attack. The best defense is not being in the place where the fist or knee pass. While they fight, my clone will watch them and tell you how to improve your skill. When all clones are dispelled you will recreate them. Past you will dispel yourself too, and Naruto will create another clone for the duty. Obviously the purpose of this exercise is to improve your taijutsu." The clone left the place with his instructor, obviously happy to have the most funny exercise. Minato headed to Naruto. "Well Naruto, as the only one who can do the body physical progress. For begin you will start with 100 sit-ups, 200 push-ups and will make 300 runs around the field." "Oh yes, I will also improve your weights of 50, said smiling under his mask. "Yes duh. I mean sensei, I will do everything in a few minutes," said an enthusiastic Naruto. After Minato performed the Funjutsu that improved the weights, The kid started the sit-ups immediately, without trying to adjust himself to the new weight. Kushi-chan. He looks like me, but the way he behaves like you. When he acts like this, I can see that a part of you will be with us forever, thought Minato dreamily. Sensei asked Naruto, why did I have to create a clone who will create the clones of each duty, and why they have to dispel themselves past an hour? Wouldn't it be more easy if I created all clones we need and make them work until they wore out all their chakra? Those are good questions, Naruto. Let me explain. The clones you created will receive the memories of all clones they created when they dispel, and you will receive their clones' memories. This way you will receive the memories of all clones gradually instead of receiving them together, so you won't feel the mental stress you had other times. My clones will make sure that you will receive only the memories of a single clone each time one that you created is dispelled. Naruto was amazed with his father's solution to that drawback of his training. Minato continued, the reason the clones you created minus the ones who have to study have to dispel themselves is very easy. Each clone you create after that will have the combined training of all the dispelled ones. Same will happen with the ones they will create. For example, you have 30 water walking clones do the exercise for an hour. Each one has an hour of training, what means 30 hours of training for you. Then the clone who created them dispels them and himself. You got 30 hours of training. You recreate the clone and then he recreates the others. Each of the new clones will have 30 hours of training instead of 1 hour of training if you didn't dispel them. That means they will improve faster and better than with the old method, and their progress is your progress. You're a genius too, San. With this training I'll be Hokage in no time and you won't have to hide your face anymore, cheered Naruto, forgetting that in training time he had to call Minato sensei. Thank you, Naruto. We will continue this training for the rest of the morning. We will eat in the afternoon and you will spar with me in the evening, said Minato. Hai! Responded Naruto, keeping with his exercises. The morning passed without incidents. Then they headed to the Ikaraku ramen stand. Minato let Naruto have some bowls of the not-so-healthy varieties of ramen. He didn't order anything. Naruto said when his son finished, you have 2 hours of free time. Don't prank anybody who doesn't deserve it. We will meet in the same spot, said, ruffling his hair. Thank you, Dad. See you later, said, leaving the place. He was too happy that he didn't notice the worry in his father's eyes. What's going on, Arashi-san? Said Tuki, trying not to call Minato Yondaime-sama. It's something bothering you? It's nothing, responded Arashi, obviously lying. Don't say that. I can plainly see that you are worried for something. Why don't you tell me while we have a cup of sake? Perhaps I can help you. Minato denied the offer. No, sake won't work on me. I'll tell you. I'm scared. What? Why are you scared? What can put you in this state? Said Tuki. Tuki-san, I'm afraid that Naruto will hate me after I'm going to say. Today I'm going to tell him the truth about the fox, said Minato. Tuki was speechless. He would hate to be in Minato's position, telling his own son that he was the responsible of his loneliness and a group of S-class nuns after him. Uzumaki-sama, don't worry, he won't hate you. I think you made a good choice deciding to tell him the truth soon. He won't feel as fooled that if you wait a few years. Sooner or later he will know the truth. I think it's better that if you tell him yourself instead of an enemy. I never saw him so happy before you came back. He will forgive you, I'm sure. Thank you, Tuki-san. You encouraged me. How much I owe you? Said Arashi. This goes on the house. And good luck, responded the cook. That evening Minato had his spar with his son. Both of them were surprised how much the kid improved with the new special training in a day. Naruto would be soon tuned and leveled in his skills. Minato thought proudly that in a few days his son will be ready for learn their family's jutsus. Then he reminded what he had to tell him. Naruto, please stop. I must tell you something, said worried. What is going on, sensei? Responded Naruto, noticing his father's concern. Naruto, I'm going to tell you what really happened the day the Kiwabi attacked. To be continued. Sorry for another cliffhanger. I don't know if I will be able to post next chapter in the next week. I guarantee you that you'll have it before next month. That chapter will be crucial in the story. I bet many of you recognized a famous fan art of Minato and Naruto in this chapter. If someone recognizes it, please give me the link. Years ago, when she woke up, she was in the flower field where they confessed their love to each other. She would have thought that she died, singing a lullaby to his child for a last time while her husband was looking at them sadly. Where are them? Then, in the distance, she saw Gamabunta confronting the fox. No, he is going to do it. She rushed to the place of the battle, not noticing the body that was left in the field, a woman who looked like herself. She arrived at the scene only to see the end of the battle. Funjutsu, Shikifia-jin, shouted the man holding the baby. A creepy figure appeared behind the man and stabbed him from behind with his claw-like hand. "No!" exclaimed her. The dark energy of the god of death flowed through her loved one, and reached their child amidst the horrible cries of pain of both of them. A spiral symbol appeared in the child's belly, inside the seal that his father created between tears. A ghostly hand emerged from there and got inside the fox who was held back by the Lord of the Toads. Slowly, that hand dragged the fox inside the child's belly. The cries of pain from the father and son were unbearable. Please stop!" cried in her impotence. Nobody heard her. The process continued until the fox disappeared completely inside the kid. Then, lines of fire appeared in the child's cheeks. When they disappeared, 3 whisker-like marks were on each of the baby's cheeks, marking him as the Jinchuriki of the Kiwabi no Kitsune. Forever. Konoha was saved. But there's no victory without a loss. The toad deposited the agonizing man and the child in the ground. "Minato, I can't say any more in this plane," said the toad in a guilty tone. "It's okay. Thank you for helping me." "Gee, goodbye my friend," responded the man while the toad vanished. She rushed to them and tried to hold his husband. To her horror, she saw how her hands went through them. Realization hit her. Kushina Uzumaki was now a ghost. Oblivious to her, his husband was talking to their son. What sort of father I am? Sealing the fox in my own son. And Naruto, I hope someday you will forgive me for giving you such burden. This shouldn't been happening. I hope the villagers treat you as the hero you are, my child. I wish your mother would have survived. Someday you will meet her. Unfortunately, I won't go to the same place as you. And Naruto, my son, I love you." With that last words, Minato Namikaze died. "Minato, no!" cried Kushina in despair, between ghostly tears that disappeared when they touched the ground. The poor baby Naruto had lost both his parents, leaving him without any family. The next events were a nightmare to her. Jiraiya found her body in the flower field and buried it at the base of the bear where she died. Next, Sarutobi as the Hokage again explained to the citizens of Konoha what happened to the fox and her husband and how he wished the boy being seen as a hero. Unfortunately, the hate of the villagers was higher than the respect they had for their deceased leader, so the Hokage created a law promising a horrible punishment to anybody who dared to hurt the kid or tell the truth about what happened, with the hope that he would be accepted by the younger generations. Next years were a hell for both of them. Naruto was avoided by most of the population. Although his friendly nature, he didn't make any friends because those bastard parents poisoned their own children with their stupidity. She only could stay near him in his worst moments. Whenever he cried, she, in despair, extended her arms around him without touching him, miming a hug while she whispered consolation words that he never heard. For gaining attention, he became a prankster whose blows against those who deserved it gave his mother the few smiles she had those years. Then he got into the academy. At the beginning they thought that things would get better, but to her horror he inherited her Anusa large chakra reserves, making almost impossible for him master the most basic chakra control exercises and jutsus. She also had that problem when she got into the academy, but she overcome it with Minato's help. Unfortunately, he didn't have anybody to help him with his chakra. Same happened with the other subjects of his training. The other kids had the help of their parents while Naruto was alone. That frustrated him so much that he only studied enough to pass the grades, making him the dead last. Not everything was bad. He made some friends with the other dopes of the class who also were part of the clans who tried to adopt him. Chaoji, Kiba and Shikamaru. She noticed that the Chunin teacher Iruka softened with the time and even invited Naruto sometimes to ramen. She was also happy to see that the owner Akiraku ramen stand was friendly to him. And there was that girl, Hinata Hyuga. She watched Naruto without him noticing, smiling with each small success he achieved and looking at him with admiration whenever he failed and tried again. Kushina realized that the girl was falling in love with his child. Her suspects were confirmed when Hinata left gift at Naruto's door in his 9th birthday. It was a frog-like wallet. If only Hinata were not too shy and got enough confidence to talk to Naruto without fainting, she could have become to Naruto what Minato become to herself. On his 10th birthday he received an orange jumpsuit that he adored. In fact, he changed almost all his wardrobe to look the same. Naruto was convinced that this year would be his last one as academy student and he would start his ninja career to become Hokage. But he failed because his bad chakra control. She was at the side of his son, whispering him cheering words that he couldn't hear when he arrived. Unlike other villages, that man didn't look at Naruto with scorn. Instead of it, he looked furious with the villagers and that clothes. She thought she knew that clothes from before. Yes, he dressed like her husband did for his secret identity of Arashi Kazama. Then he showed his face. Minato. She was so shocked that she didn't listen to them until Minato told Naruto about her. She was the most beautiful woman on earth, my son, my best friend, my twin soul, my love. My wife, said Minato, trying to stop the tears in his eyes. Min-kun thought her at her husband's words. She realized that it was really him, and no, her son finally will know about his family. She cried of happiness when Naruto and Minato hugged each other. She wished that scene could last forever. No, everything would go fine. Then the Hokage came. Minato dispatched the fool Anbu. Later Sarutobi told Minato about Naruto's life. The stupid villagers felt Minato's killing intent. Minato told the Hokage his story. It was almost unbelievable. Kushina and never came to see me. She probably must hate me for what I did to our son, said sadly, hugging Naruto. I would never hate you, Minato. I was here with Naruto. After the incident with the proofs from the future, Minato took Naruto to the apartment and started to read the letter. Kushina was ashamed of not knowing what was in the letter. She was watching the punishment that horrible woman received while Naruto wrote it. She cried with Minato when they finished reading it. Next day she watched happily when Naruto realized that his father's return was not a dream. Naruto asked Minato about her. She was nervous about Naruto's impression when he finally would know about her. She blushed when Minato praised her and tried to knock him while he told Naruto about her defects. Those are not defects. Look, even Naruto agrees with me. Then Naruto started to cry and Minato tried to comfort him. No, she is in a better place, happy for us not being alone anymore. Yes, I am, said while she mimicked hugging them. Later that day Minato and her discovered happily that there was more people that cared for Naruto. Then Minato started to give Naruto the appropriate training for him. Both of them were really proud when Naruto mastered the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu in less than a day. During that week Minato polished a lot of flaws in Naruto's instruction, raising his level higher than most of his classmates. Most times Minato decided to stop the training earlier and spend the rest of the day playing with Naruto or telling him things about the future. Talking about the future, something happened to her. She discovered that since Minato's return she now had memories where Naruto graduates when he is 12 years old. After discovering the truth about the Kiwabi, the formation of Team 7, the Wave Country mission, the Chunin exams, the invasion, Sasuke's defection, the 3-year travel with Jiraiya, the Akatsuki's moving out and Minato's resurrection, she realized that her future self was brought into the past with Minato and that they merged, gaining the future Kushina's memories. Naruto, Minato, if only I could tell you. At the end of that week came the day when Arashi Uzumaki would show his skills to Konoha. The first match was really easy. She looked angry at the other women when he fought against Guy with his jacket wide open. Stop drooling, you horny sluts. He is mine. She laughed seeing how her husband taming teacher and her friends gave the victory to Minato. She looked proudly at Minato in the 4th match until he got trapped in the genjutsu of the false Anbu and saw that he was going to be killed. Minato move out. Cried. To her surprise he dodged the attack and dominated the match until it was discovered that the Anbu was really Itachi Uchiha. That night Minato took Naruto to their home. She felt guilty when they saddened because her absence, especially when they discovered what should have been Naruto's room. I'm so sorry, said her between tears. However, she was really happy when Naruto took the stuffed frog. Thank you for your present, Mom, I love it, whispered, hugging it with a smile. I knew you'll like it, my boy, responded her, miming a kiss in his forehead. The next day would have been another happy training day until Minato told Tuki that he was going to tell Naruto the truth about that night. Present time. Naruto, please stop, I must tell you something, said worried. What is going on, sensei? Responded Naruto, noticing his father's concern. Naruto, I'm going to tell you what really happened the day the Kiwabi attacked. What do you want to say? The fox was killed by Y. tried to say Naruto before being interrupted. No, it wasn't. Nobody in Konoha had the power to destroy that creature, not even me, said Minato sadly, removing his mask. Then, what happened? Asked Naruto. I sealed the creature using the Shikifia Jin. That was what killed me. Unfortunately, the only being able to contain him was a newborn baby with his chakra coils undeveloped, so they could adapt to the Kiwabi's chakra. An adult would have exploded, freeing the monster, said, looking guilty at his son. Then Naruto realized everything: the stairs, the adults evading him, nobody wanting him, the loneliness. He touched his whisker marks and that seal that appeared in his belly when he channeled chakra. That boy was me, whispered, looking at his father with an unreadable look. I don't know if you will forgive me someday. As a Takuja, I couldn't ask a family to sacrifice their child having mine. A Kage cannot demand his subordinates things that he couldn't do. I left as my last will to you being seen a hero for keeping everybody safe from the Kiwabi, but they ignored it. That's the reason why I'm so angry with the villagers, said, not daring to look at his son's eyes. Why nobody told me, Towson? Asked Naruto, confused. You still call me that? Thought Minato with a hint of hope. The Sandaime made a law forbidding everybody to tell about what happened in reality. He made it with the hope that you could make some friends, but the parents passed their hate to their children, said Minato, waiting to feel his son's hate. So that's the reason, exclaimed Naruto with a clap, not looking angry. Minato was speechless. I thought they disliked me because I was too loud and annoying, but it's nothing relative to my personality, said Naruto, looking relieved. And Naruto, you are not angry with me? Everything bad that happened to you was because me? Asked Minato, puzzled. No. Why? What you said about choosing me had sense, and you wanted me to be seen as a hero, said Naruto, smiling. Minato felt immensely relieved at his son's words. Naruto continued talking. It's not your fault they hate me because I'm the Kiwabi. Then Naruto looked shocked at his own words. No. He misunderstood what I said, thought Minato, horrified. Naruto, you are not the monster, thought Kushina. I'm the monster who killed mom, said the boy, trembling, hugging himself. No, said two voices in unison. One was Minato's, the other came from behind a tree. Father and son looked at the tree, and the person who was hiding behind revealed herself. She was a girl around Naruto's age. She had short indigo hair and lavender eyes with no visible pupils. And Naruto-kun, you are not the Kiwabi, said Hinata, looking at Naruto. Why, you're a good person who always tries his best and never gives up, said, not believing the courage she was displaying now. A monster wouldn't try to make his classmates happy with his pranks. A monster wouldn't try to make friends among the villagers. A monster wouldn't want to become Hokage. Minato finally recognized the girl. Flashback. One day Naruto introduced him to his old classmates. When came the turn of the Hyuga era, she slapped him. How could why you have done that to your son? Why, you know what he had to pass? Said between tears before realizing that he slapped the father of the boy she liked. I'm sorry Hokage-sama, I said, leaving the place crying. Hinata, whispered Naruto, not knowing what to do. Naruto, go after her, tell her that I deserve that, tell her that she didn't do anything. Finally tell her that I'm happy you have somebody like her caring for you, said Minato, looking at him. Naruto rushed after the girl. Days later his son and Hinata had their first date. And flashback. And Naruto-kun, please don't think about yourself as a monster, said Hinata, in the verge of tears. She is right, Naruto, said Minato, you are not the fox, you are his prison, the one who protects everybody from his wrath, one of the greatest heroes of Konoha's history. You avenged your mother when we defeated him, she must be really proud of you, said Minato with his hands in Naruto's shoulder. Yes, I am, you're the greatest son in the world. I'm also proud of you, Hinata-chan, told Kushina. Naruto looked at Hinata and his father, and a smile formed in his face. Why yes, you both must be right, said, cheering up. Okay, then I'll show the village that I'm not a monster, I'll make them regret not respecting your wishes. Now my only wish is that you become a good and powerful ninja, said Minato, looking at his son. By the way, who's this young lady? Said, looking at Hinata. The poor girl lost all the courage she had earlier, realizing that they caught her spying them. Before Naruto could say anything, his father pretended that he realized it. Of course, said Minato, extending his little finger. she is your girlfriend. Naruto, how did you manage to get such a beautiful and understanding girl? Said looking proudly at them. Hinata got a never seen shade of red. First Naruto's father think that they are a couple, then he praises her and looks happy for that. She is my classmate. Said Naruto blushing. We are not a couple. Said yet, thought Minato and Kushina in unison. I see. Said Minato pretending to look disappointed, so, looking at the way she talked in your favor she must be your closest friend. Is it true Hinata? Do you think of me as your friend? Said Naruto hopefully. Why yes, I'm your friend and Naruto-kun. Whispered Hinata doing her best to not faint, but extremely happy to become Naruto's friend. Thank you Hinata-chan. I'll be the best friend in the world. Exclaimed hugging her. Finally she fainted. When she woke up she was leaned against the base of the tree. She noticed she was wrapped with the orange jacket she gave in secret to Naruto. He and his father were looking at her. You awake? I was so worried for you Hinata-chan. Said Naruto happily. He called me Hinata-chan. Thought her. I told you she would get better Naruto. Said his father. Then he looked at her. Hinata, do you know who I am? Asked. Why yes. Why you are Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. Why you didn't tell who you were really? Said in awe. Minato explained the girl why Naruto's true heritage was concealed. And for that reason we hid the truth. Hinata, you are now the only person of your age who knows Naruto's secrets with the exception of Naruto himself. Don't worry Hokage-sama, I will keep your secrets. Said Hinata happy. We know you'll do it, now you should go back home before your family worries. She nodded and left the scene. I hope to see you at class next week, Hinata-chan. Said Naruto. Later that night, in her room, she cried for Naruto. Naruto got into class ignoring the whispers of the other students. He tried to go to his usual seat at Sasuke's side but found it occupied by Sakura. Hello Sakura-chan, you took care of my seat. Did you miss me? Said to the girl. No, I didn't miss you Baka. And I took this seat because it's at Sasuke's side. Responded the pink-haired girl. Instead of looking depressed, Naruto remained with his happy mood. Oh well, I don't want to be at the temp side. I'll look for another seat, said to the stupefied Sakura. Naruto then noticed that Hinata had nobody in her side and headed to her. Hello, Hinata. How are you? Asked. I'm fine and Naruto-kun, responded Hinata happy to see that his crush didn't forget her. Before his father came back she noticed that he took a liking for Sakura and she was afraid that he would forget her at the instant he saw Sakura again. Hinata-chan, my old seat is now occupied, is one of the seats at your side free? Asked with his cheery smile. Hinata felt like in a dream. First Naruto was not angry with when she was found her spying on them. She becomes the only person her age besides Naruto who knows their secrets. His father the Yondaime Hokage complimented her. Then she became his friend and now he wanted to sit with her. Why yes, and Naruto-kun, the seat at my right is free. Responded. Great, thank you Hinata-chan. Said Naruto happily. She called me Hinata-chan. Thought twitching her index fingers with a blush. She felt some killer intent headed at her, coming from some of those girls who were not Sasuke's fangirls. After Naruto's father performance now the other girls will notice him. Especially after we saw the match against the man in green. Thought blushing imagining an adult Naruto with an open jacket. Hey, Hinata are you alright? Asked Naruto. Why yes, and Naruto-kun. Responded her twitching her fingers. How was your training? It was great. Kakashi came and taught me a jutsu he promised me, then my father taught me another one. When I learned the jutsus my father started to teach me the basic about seals. He says that is a settled art in our family that is taught in the late teens but he said that I should start at it earlier because my, condition. Said a bit concerned. I don't care about that condition Naruto-kun. I'll always be your friend, said Hinata. Thank you Hinata-chan. Hey look, the Tem came holding hands with Ino. Said Naruto breaking the atmosphere. The truth was that Ino grabbed Sasuke just before he got into class to create the impression that she came holding hands with Sasuke to tease the other girls. Get off your hands of my Sasuke-kun, Ino pig. Protested Sakura. You can't assume that we are made for each other, forehead. responded Ino, sticking her tongue at Sakura. Said boy ignored them while he headed to his seat. To his horror he realized that the doob was no longer at his side working as his anti-fangirl shield, and he was too proud to seek his help. Iruka got into the class without realizing that he had a kiss mark in his neck. You'll see soon how he got it. Good morning class, said Iruka. All kids looked at him with astonished faces. Then the girls started to giggle while some boys pointed at him. Iruka-sensei has a girlfriend. Iruka-sensei has a girlfriend. And she kissed him. Iruka realized the mark and left the room to find a way to hide it. Kushina watched entertained the scene until Mizuki got into class. That traitorous bastard, thought angry, now that she had memories of the future. If I could lay my hands on him I would castrate him, then beat him, then mutilate him, then a Rasengan in the ass. Alright class, with Iruka's absence we'll go to the training ground where you'll do a sparring match against me one by one, said Mizuki. He planned to choose Naruto first. It could be a good chance to see what the Kawaii boy learned. He would beat him in a sparring match without holding back and then tell that it was a training accident. All students got into the training grounds happy for not having a theory class. Naruto, you'll go first, said with his fake smile. He is planning something, thought Kushina. Yes, I'll show you how strong I am now, Mizuki-sensei, said Naruto happily. Why don't we do our match more interesting, asked Mizuki smiling. What do you mean, asked Naruto. We should fight without holding back, so you'll show how strong you are in reality, said. He wants to hurt Naruto, thought Kushina furious. Yes, let's fight without holding back sensei, exploded Naruto, happy to have the chance to show his progress to his classmates. Perfect. Now that he accepted in presence of all his classmates nobody would be able to protest after the beating, thought Mizuki smiling. HMPH, let's see what learned the doob in 2 weeks, thought Sasuke and Kiba. I hope Naruto won't get hurt, thought Hinata. That Baka is going to get his ass kicked, thought Sakura and Ino. Troublesome, thought Shikamaru. I should get some honey for my queen. It will be good for her eggs, thought Shino. Barbecue or onion and cheese flavored chips, thought Chaoji. The match began. Mizuki got ready his huge shuriken. Naruto thought it was a good chance to test Kakashi's jutsu. Take this sensei to Ukage shuriken no jutsu. Hours later Minato got into the academy hearing that one of the teachers got into hospital with shuriken wound in the 90 of his body. Then Naruto said concerned that he was the one who did it. Don't worry Naruto-kun, these accidents happen. He assumed that he could get hurt when he proposed the match, said Minato happily. Why don't we go to Ikaraku's to celebrate your first victory against a ninja? Hey, it's true, I beat a Chunin, exclaimed Naruto happy. Many villagers who heard this took note about the Uzumaki's kid improvement and reminded themselves to not mess with any of them. At Ikaraku's Naruto took a bowl of each ramen flavor while Minato took 2 bowls of miso and 1 of pork. He was not very hungry. When he paid, a note fell from his purse. I'll take it, Towson, don't duck, said taking the note. Then he realized something about that note. It was the letter he gave the Hokage a year ago. Naruto looked at it, then at his father and then at the letter again. Minato didn't know what to say. Naruto, about that letter, tried to say before Naruto left the scene running. Minato tried to catch his son but Naruto's ability to escape was not legendary for nothing. Kushina was used to Naruto's skill so she had no problem following him. He found an hour later when he checked their home, Naruto was smiling at him with the letter in his hands. Al thought none of them saw her. Kushina was also smiling. Naruto, the letter, tried to say again but he was interrupted again. Don't worry Dad, I corrected the mistakes, said Naruto handing him the letter. What mistakes, asked Minato looking at the letter. The reading part of the letter remained the same, however the drawing has been revised. The man of the drawing was now wearing a big white jacket with red flames while the beard was now deleted. The woman now had her hair reaching her waist. Both of them now resembled more to Minato and Kushina. Minato hugged his son relieved. Thank you, Naruto, I love this drawing. I'll keep it forever, said. I also wrote another letter, but this is only for Mom, said Naruto with a slightly sad smile. I see. Are you going to ask the Hokage to deliver it, asked Minato. And no, I would like to go to the place where she is resting and read it to her, said. I understand. Take your best clothes. I'm ashamed to say that I didn't visit the place yet, said Minato. You had other priorities, Min-kun, thought Kushina. Minutes later Naruto was wearing a black suit while Minato was now in a black kimono. Dad, What are the most beautiful flowers? Asked Naruto. The most beautiful flowers, those decorating the hair of a girl. Why do you ask? Said Minato. I want to bring some flowers to her, said Naruto smiling. Don't worry, we won't need flowers there, said taking Naruto in arms, leaving the place flying. They landed in a field full of flowers. Minato directed Naruto to a big tree. As you can see, she won't need more flowers there. She is resting in the base of the tree, said Minato with a slight smile. This place is beautiful. Why you didn't tell me about it before? Asked Naruto. I was not ready to come back here. It recalls many memories, said Kushina. Knew what he was talking about. This is the place where we confessed our love to each other. We shared many wonderful moments there, said Minato. In one of the upper branches I wrote something about us. Naruto got into the upper branches looking for the writing. I found it, Dad, said happily. It's a heart. It says Minato and Kushina forever. You never told me about that. Minato thought her. I bet she loved it, Dad, said Naruto. The truth is that I never told her about it, said Minato with a hand behind his head. But another thing happened here, said with a sad face. Then he told Naruto what happened there the night of the attack, including his own death later. During my last seconds, while I was saying goodbye to you, I thought I saw her looking sadly at us, said Minato. Minato, you saw me? Thought Kushina in tears. For a moment Naruto didn't say anything. Dad, please, can you leave me alone here? I want to read her the letter, said. Okay, I'll be back in 30 minutes, said Minato, leaving the place. When Naruto was sure that his father was not in the place, he cried, sad for his family last moments together. Kushina only could mimic a hug to her son during that. Minutes later he calmed down and opened the letter. Kushina stood before Naruto ready to listen her son's thoughts about her. Dear Mom, time ago I wrote a letter to you and Dad. I didn't know who you were when I wrote it. I didn't know if you loved me until 2 weeks ago. That day Dad came back, I discovered that he was the Yondaime Hokage. Can you believe it? Discovering that the greatest hero in Konoha story is your own father. When I woke up that morning I thought it was a dream until I saw him making breakfast. Then he told me about you, that you are Kushina Uzumaki from the Whirlpool country, and showed me your photos. I was right about you. You are the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm not so beautiful, Naruto-kun told her with false modesty. I discovered that you also liked ramen and he told me your virtues. He was so proud when he told me about you. I'm a little ashamed to tell you that he used to spy on you using the crystal ball of the Hokage. I'm not angry with him. In fact, I think that it is very romantic when you watch it. The person you love, thought her, reminding Hinata. That day he started to train me. I discovered that the true reason I was bad in training was because I was too good for the academy training methods. That's not all the truth, Naruto. You didn't take enough attention at class. I wish you could see how strong I became with Dad's training. I will impress everybody in the parents' visit day. It will be the first time I'll be there. I'll make you both very proud. We are already proud of you, my baby. Dad told me why nobody was told about you both being my parents. He decided to use a secret identity until I was strong enough. I'll get strong as soon as possible so everyone will know that you were the woman who got the Yondaime's heart. Kushina giggled at his words. Naruto continued. He told me that he came from an alternate future. The story he told me was incredible. I told him that there must be a reason why you didn't visit him in the other world. I hope someday we will see you again. I hope that too. A week ago he made a test for determine his ninja rank as Arashi Uzumaki. He was amazing. He defeated all his opponents, outsmarting them. Kakashi told me that he didn't choose all his power. Someday I'll be as strong as him. After the match people started to look at us with more respect, especially the single women. He didn't notice it, but now all females look at him the same way Sasuke's fangirls look at him. I can wait to see their faces the day he will go without his mask. But don't worry, he won't go with another woman. He still loves you. Sometimes when he is alone he looks at your photos with a dreamy look. He didn't sleep in your room since we came back home after the test. I also saw the room you prepared for me. Naruto now had some tears in his eyes. I didn't realize how much you loved me until I saw it. We decided to leave the room locked until the day someone will need it. For a black-haired grandson with white eyes? Thought her, giggling. Then Dad told me the truth about the Kiwabi, that it was sealed inside me. For a moment I thought I was the fox reborn as a human, but luckily Hinata, a girl from my class, appeared and showed me that I was not the fox. She even became my friend. I was lucky that she was passing by there when Dad told me the truth. She was not passing by there, you silly, thought his mother smiling. However, I still don't know why she blushes and does that funny thing with the fingers when I'm near. Your father will help you to realize it, Naruto-kun. Today I discovered the letter I wrote you both. I took it and corrected the drawing where we are together. Now Dad appears as the Hokage and you have your beautiful long hair as it should be. I think there's nothing more to say. Mom, I love you. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto stored the letter in his jacket. Mom, Dad told me how you died. You and a squad of ninjas tried to defeat the Kiwabi so Dad wouldn't die and I wouldn't have the sad life of a Jinchuriki. Thank you, Mom. I promise that I will be happy and make others happy to honor you. That's the promise of a lifetime. Thank you, my Naruto. I know you will do it. You never break your promises, thought her happy. Minutes later Minato came back. They made a few prayers before the tree and went back home, where they spent the rest of the day with Minato explaining Naruto the basics of seals. That night Kushina headed to Naruto's bed and mimicked a kiss in his forehead. Good night, my young hero, she thought. Next she headed to Minato. It looked like he was having a bad dream. She mimicked a kiss in his lips. For a brief moment she thought she felt the fake kiss. Good night, my love. Then Minato opened his eyes and looked in disbelief. She realized that he was not looking through her. He was looking at her. Kushina? Somewhere beyond the mortal planes. Minato went to bed hoping to have a good rest. He didn't have it. He found himself in a black space, with nothing else there. Finally I found you, Minato Namikaze, Yondaime Hokage of Konoha, said a creepy voice behind him. Minato paled. He never hoped to hear that voice again, at least while he was still alive. The blonde ex-Kage turned slowly, hoping to be wrong about the one who was talking to him. He wasn't. Before him stood the god of death. I was looking for you since you disappeared from my kingdom 2 weeks ago, said the sinister figure. What is he talking about? I was resurrected in the future, thought Minato. Then he realized it. Of course, the soul of the Minato of this time merged with me, thought. He also realized that his master was going to separate him from Naruto. Again, he took a fighting stance, ready to fight for his soul. Although he knew that he was fighting a lost battle, he was facing the most powerful being in all eternity. Why this attitude, Minato-kun? Is this way to greet your master? Asked the Shinigami amused. I won't let you separate me from my son again, sire. I'm sorry, but I won't go back to your kingdom until I die again. Die again? Wait, why are you alive? Asked the Shinigami in a very funny un-Shinigami tone. Minato dropped before his master's attitude and told him all his story, with special remark in the seal he used for avoid the effects of the Edo Tensei. I see. You will be glad to know that I don't have power over the alive, so I won't take you back, said the god. Minato exhaled relieved. His master realized it amused. I am a patient god. Everyone will die eventually, even other gods. You'll come back to my kingdom someday. Meanwhile you'll send me more and more warriors. Those who deserve it will go to the kingdom, others elsewhere, said in a creepy tone. Thank you, sire, said Minato. Not so fast, Minato-kun. I have a mission for you. You'll eventually fight those fools Haiden, Kakuzu and Orochimaru. Their tries to avoid their fate are annoying me. Kill them. Immortality is not for mortals. Yes, sire, said Minato. He didn't need to ask me that, thought. One more thing, Minato-kun, said the god. Many of those who had been in near-death experiences eventually develop the ability to see those who are trapped between the world of the living and the world of the death. With unnatural speed he grabbed and immobilized Minato with one hand. Then he extended the middle and index fingers of his other hand. A white flame appeared in each finger and he got them closer to Minato's eyes. Master, why are you doing this? said Minato confused. Silence. You have been in the two worlds. You are starting to develop that ability. I will give you a little push. You'll thank me after this. Many of your questions will be answered and you'll thank me, responded, touching Minato's eyes with the flames. Minato expected to feel pain, but instead of it he felt like he had cleaned his eyes. The god released him and felt like his body was disappearing. It's your time to go back. Farewell, Minato Namikaze. Someday we will meet again, said the god. When Minato finally disappeared, the god of death changed his appearance into a good-looking man with pale skin and long black hair. A woman with supernatural beauty appeared and hugged him from behind. The goddess of love. You did it, honey. Now they will be able to see each other. Why? Cheered the beauty. Yes, but will they be happy? Asked Death. They will. It will be hard, but they'll surpass all difficulties. Dad Bayo. Said the hyperactive Love. Why the hell I married you? Asked Death. Because love prevails even beyond death, responded her, kissing him. Uzumaki residence. For a brief moment Minato had feeling in his lips, something he didn't felt for years. He opened his eyes and he saw her. Kushina. They stared at each other, trying to assume that they were looking at each other. A faint smile and tears of happiness appeared in their faces. Kushi-chan! Exclaimed him. They rushed to embrace each other, but her arms passed through him to their disillusionment. No! Babbled him. She tried to touch his face. She attempted to caress his hair. They couldn't. He only could see her form, not hear or touch her. Kushina felt like in Naruto's first years, again the impotence of not touching her loved ones. Kakashi-chan, why you're a ghost? Whispered. Kushina embraced herself and started to cry, turning her back to Minato so he couldn't see her crying. With this painful revelation Minato finally realized why she didn't come to see him all those years, from where came the voice that helped him in the genjutsu. The words of the god. He was unable to see her crying. He rushed to embrace her. He couldn't. He tried it many times, failing all. Minutes later she calmed down and regained her composure to his surprise. You always have been very strong, Kushi-chan, thought Minato with a sad smile. She responded him with another sad smile. They didn't dare to try to touch each other again. All these years you had been looking after our son, didn't you, my love? Asked him. She nodded. It must have been a hell not being able to hug him, unable to tell him how much you loved him, seeing how he wasn't honored as he deserved. Said sadly. Kushina recalled some of that painful memories until she recalled also that day 2 weeks ago when he came back. She started to do some gestures. Minato recognized the hand sign language. But now everything fine. You back, Naruto? Happy? He whispered. She nodded at his words. I'm happy too. You know what happened to me, don't you, my love? Asked. She nodded again. Although the place was supposed to be a paradise, it wasn't with neither of you there. She responded with an understanding smile. Dad, who are you talking at? Asked a sleepy Naruto. Kushina looked hopefully at her son. Naruto didn't saw her. Naruto, can't you see her? Asked Minato. See who, Dad? Asked Naruto, yawning. Kushina's face saddened. That vision was like a knife through Minato's heart. Nothing. Naruto-kun, come back to sleep, said Minato, disguising his sadness. She cried again, this time for hours. The only thing he could do was miming an embrace to her. That's the end, guys. If you enjoyed, then like, subscribe and leave a comment down below. This is Maelstrom signing off.